Today, we review 2017. We look forward to 2018. Best of all, Jaime, Adventures is back.
Yes.
This was all started by one of Jaime's random thoughts.
Yes.
We need to write a book, Jaime's Random Thoughts.
Oh my gosh. No, I don't think anybody want to read it. What you guys don't know is that Glenn and I sit directly next to each other, across from each other, and he often gets random thoughts from Jaime. Yes. One of those random thoughts actually happened to be about Destination EDventure, where I just start spewing out ideas as to what I think this really cool project about telling the story of our districts looks like.
And that's how the mothership got started, Destination EDventure. When we started this, our bosses, Lori Blaine and Brian Rawling, I used to have a job way back when this was much darker.
I just colored mine.
It's kind of a gradient now. It goes light to dark, you know. But way back then, I had a boss who said, if you're going to do the job right, you need the right tools. And they've stepped up and got us a new camera to shoot all this with. New audio. When we started on this crazy thing, I said, we're going to need new audio, and they got us that. So our last piece of equipment they picked up, they set me up with a brand new editing workstation. And gotta say, I never thought I'd be back on Windows. I live in the Adobe world anyway. Guess I have to admit I'm an Adobe fanboy. So once I enter that world anyway, who cares if it's Mac or PC, as long as it works. So big shout out to those guys.
We have other obligations too.
Yes.
And they've covered our duties here at the office so that we're allowed to go share the stories of all of you in the schools doing the incredible work with students to make a difference in their future.
Yep. Big shout out to Michelle Rivas. When we started this, she just said, go, we got it. And when she said we, she meant Stacy Edie too.
Yes.
So big shout out to her as well.
When Glenn and I went to McPherson, our GPS said, we have arrived.
Say go to the right.
It can't mean that. There's a lake there.
I think it knows where it is going.
This is the
The
lake.
machine
This
knows.
is the lake.
Stop yelling at me.
No, it's
Stop
up
yelling.
there. There's no road here.
Part of the adventure is sometimes
the travel.
It's just the travel there.
You've arrived, and there's
nothing
houses.
there.
There's nothing there. I'm like, well, now what?
I think we need to start videoing that too, maybe.
Oh my gosh. Just need to put a GoPro on our head and go, this is what we see. And we love hearing the superintendents come in and them talk and share out the different things. They are celebrating what's going on in their schools, and it's more of a conversation piece too, I think.
Yes.
We really opened a window, and accidentally and on purpose at the same time, so that we're all more aware of what's going on in our school districts.
We actually went to Nickerson first, but our very first episode was with Eric Stanbaugh in the Bueller Marching Band program. It was a cold morning.
It was a cold morning. I did not dress appropriately for the weather conditions at all.
But Eric has an amazing band program over in Bueller. And then our second episode, we went to Nickerson.
We got to meet with Christy Riffle and fly a drone.
Yes, that was cool.
We still haven't gotten a drone yet.
We still really want one.
We're still trying so that we can fly into our schools and show you guys all over where we're going.
Yep.
We're still working on that. But thanks, Christy and Nickerson, for inspiring us.
Yep. She, again, runs a great program. It was a crazy day. We got to watch them record their Panther TV, their newscast for Panther TV. So our next adventure was to Garden Plain High School.
We visited with Gina Clark and her students, and we got a one-on-one experience while their coffee shop.
The Owl's Nest.
Yes. Thank you, Glenn.
You're welcome. I have to admit, that's what we're here. We're here for each other. Yeah,
because I needed help.
I have to admit, I apologize because I was expecting just a concession stand, like what you'd see at a football game or a baseball game.
Nothing like that.
Nope.
You walked into a full-blown coffee shop with nice formal seating areas, beautiful artwork that we found out were kind of school artifacts.
Yes, they were. It was cool. The best part of it, you couldn't even see though, I think. The founders, can't remember what you called them, the original nesters or something like that, signed the wall underneath the cabinet. We thought that was pretty neat. I know that kind of got your heartstrings going.
It did.
It's really an amazing place, a great story, a real world experience for these kids. Then our next trip, we went to
Stafford.
Yeah, and visited with Mike Cargill and went and saw his greenhouse.
Oh my goodness.
And that was an amazing place.
We still just ooh and ah and talk about it. I know we've talked about it on Twitter, but for real, that man is an incredible teacher.
Yeah, he's another amazing person doing incredible things in a small community. There with his students, and they grew their own tomato.
They did.
That was awesome. That was kind of neat. And the watercress we tasted.
Yeah, that was completely new to both of us.
Yeah.
We were both surprised and enlightened.
Yes, yes.
We went to Hayesville and we shot our Christmas special.
Yes, Campus High School with Brett Mars.
Yes.
In his industrial arts class. It was really neat to see these kids who were, it wasn't just a class, it wasn't just for a grade.
No.
They were building these trucks to give to Toys for Tots for less fortunate people, and the kids were really into it. That was great to see.
We got to speak with him in advance before the kids came in that day. At least one of his classes. His students throughout the day were working on the projects in his class, but we got to visit with him ahead of one. And he said they're going to start in, they're going to be a little squirrely, and then he goes, but like clockwork, they're going to settle in and get the task done. And that's exactly what we saw.
All these stories, if you have not seen them, you can check out on ESSDACK's website. Just go to ESSDACK.org/your
stories.
So that was 2017. 2018 is upon us, and I'm excited about what's to come, Jaime. Because
we've already been some places that we were in 2017 that we're going to show you in 2018.
Like I think we mentioned, we went down to Medicine Lodge, breakfast with the scientists. They were some amazing students. What else do we have?
We have McPherson.
McPherson with Carmen.
We visited Jill Weber's classroom and watched Cutthroat Kitchen.
Yes. What do you
Cutthroat History.
What do you get with a teacher with one heck of imagination who's watching Food Network?
You get Jill Weber.
Yes.
And just a day or two later, I was following her Twitter feed, and she came to school dressed as Ellen DeGeneres. Those kids seriously have no clue on a daily basis
what they're walking into. Yes.
Pratt. We got to go to watch a poverty simulation in Pratt that they did with their entire school district.
Yeah, we ran it just a week or two before, and it was an amazing experience. And then, actually, it gave us more insight.
It did.
For when we went down and actually filmed this, the poverty simulation with Rebecca Lewis, Pancratz, who runs that. So that'll be an amazing story coming up.
And we visited Valley Center.
Yes, we followed Jane Seward down to Valley Center. Got to watch her work with some students. Gosh, Jane, she is amazing with students.
She has just a natural way. Yes. And I loved when we did the hour stories, when we share why Jane went into teaching. And so then I got to take part of that interview with her, and I got to learn a little bit about her story, and then to see her work her magic with the kids when they were reading a book.
It is. For me, it was really something to see. I just turned the camera on and it was like, wow. So that's Destination EDventure. And of course, we need more stories. So where would you like to send us?
Give us your feedback. Shout out to us on Twitter, Facebook. Look for us.
I don't know why it was so funny.